Rain pattered softly against the window as Emily sat curled up on the couch, her hands resting gently over her growing belly. At 7 months pregnant, she often found herself awake at odd hours, a mix of excitement and nerves keeping her from sleep. She reached for her husband Daniel's phone absent-mindedly, wanting to set an alarm for him since he had an important early meeting the next morning. The screen lit up, a message notification popped across the top. "Last night was unforgettably broken bar can't stop thinking about you accuracy I diaresis sedilla." Emily froze. Her breath caught in her throat, and for a second she thought maybe she had read it wrong. But as her trembling hands tapped into the thread, the truth unraveled before her eyes. The late nights, the sudden weekend work trips, the distracted glances at dinner, all of it now made sense. Her husband was having an affair. She sat there in silence, the weight of the baby shifting inside her, as if even the child could feel her breaking heart. Tears blurred her vision, but an unusual calm spread over her. Emily wasn't the type to scream or throw things. Instead, she reached for her phone and snapped a few screenshots. She knew she would need proof later. Then she set the phone down on the table and whispered, almost to herself, "I won't raise my child in lies." Part 2, The Breaking Point. The next morning, she carried on as though nothing was wrong. She made Daniel his coffee, kissed his cheek when he left, and waited until the door clicked shut before she finally let herself cry. By afternoon, she had called her sister Hannah, who lived 3 towns over. "I need you," Emily whispered, her voice breaking. Hannah didn't ask questions. "Pack a bag, I'll be there in 2 hours." When Hannah arrived, she hugged Emily tightly, careful not to press against her belly. "You're not alone," she said. Emily's plan began to take shape that night. She would leave. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Part 3, Walking Away. She packed only what mattered: clothes for the baby, a few personal items, her late mother's locket, and the ultrasound picture she kept taped on the fridge. When Daniel came home, Emily was already gone. She left a note on the kitchen counter. "I know about the affair. I won't fight or beg. I choose peace for me and our child. Don't look for us." Part 4, The New Beginning. Emily moved in with Hannah temporarily. Life wasn't easy. Doctor visits, preparing for a newborn, and facing the reality of single motherhood all weighed heavily on her. But with every passing day, she felt stronger. Her sister's neighbors soon became her community. A retired nurse offered to help when the baby came. A widowed father down the street fixed Emily's car without charging her a dime. Even strangers at the grocery store noticed her struggle and often carried bags to her car. The world, which once felt cruel, slowly began to show her unexpected kindness. Part 5, The Twist. A month before her due date, Emily received a letter from Daniel. In it, he pleaded for forgiveness. He claimed the affair was a mistake, that he had panicked about becoming a father. He begged her to come back, but tucked at the bottom of the letter was something Emily didn't expect: a legal threat. If she didn't return, he would fight for custody of the baby. The fear nearly broke her. She sat at the kitchen table, clutching her belly, whispering, "I can't lose you, little one." "I won't." Part 6, The Unexpected Ally. That same week, Emily's doctor connected her with a support group for single mothers. It was there she met Olivia, a lawyer who had gone through something strikingly similar years before. Olivia took Emily under her wing, offering free legal advice and preparing her for what might come. "You're stronger than you know," Olivia told her, "and your child deserves to grow up seeing that strength." For the first time in weeks, Emily felt hope. Part 7, The Birth. On a snowy evening in December, Emily went into labor. Hannah drove her to the hospital, and after hours of pain, sweat, and tears, Emily finally held her baby boy. She named him Samuel J. Meza after her father, who had always taught her to stand tall in the face of hardship. When she looked into Samuel's tiny face, everything became clear. This was her fresh start. Part 8, The Battle. As expected, Daniel filed for partial custody, but thanks to Olivia's guidance and the mountain of evidence Emily had saved at the affair messages, his neglect during her pregnancy, witnesses to his absence, the court sided with Emily. Daniel was granted only supervised visits. Emily walked out of that courtroom holding Samuel in her arms, the crisp winter air filling her lungs with freedom. Part 9, The act of kindness. Months later, something unexpected happened. Daniel showed up at Hannah's doorstep. Not angry, not demanding but broken. His affair had ended, his job was on the line, and for the first time, he admitted his mistakes. Emily could have slammed the door, she could have turned him away, but instead, she let him sit in the living room and hold Samuel for the first time in months. "I'm not coming back," she said firmly. "But Samuel deserves to know you, not the version of you who lied and cheated, but the version who learns from this." For Daniel, it was a wake-up call. And though Emily didn't forgive him overnight, she gave him the chance to try. Part 10, The Uplifting Ending. 2 years later, Emily stood at the park watching Samuel run across the grass with other children. She was smiling, and not the forced smile she wore during her marriage, but a genuine one that lit up her whole face. Daniel had changed. Slowly, but surely, he attended therapy, worked on himself, and showed up for Samuel in ways he never had before. While Emily never went back, they built a peaceful co-parenting relationship. And Emily herself, she started a small online business for handmade baby clothes, inspired by the ones she sewed during her pregnancy. The business grew steadily, and soon, she was supporting herself and Samuel comfortably. When neighbors, friends, and even strangers heard her story, many told her the same thing.